Deputy Speaker, despite the harmful legacy of the 2014 budget, the Turnbull government is still intent on hurting families by cutting the family tax benefit. Labor has managed to protect grandparent carers from the worst of the cuts, but the Turnbull agenda remains steeped in unfairness. Hardworking families will be hit hardest by these cruel and unfair cuts to the family tax benefits. In my electorate of Moreton, 8,884 families on family tax benefit A will lose $726 a year for every child. The 7,708 families in Moreton who are on family tax benefit B will also suffer a cut of $354 per family. I was raised by a single mum, so I know that single-parent families find it tough enough already to raise their children alone. They'll face, sadly, a massive reduction in the family tax benefit B when their youngest child turns 13. They'll typically be facing a cut of $4,700 a year. A family with 2 parents and 2 children in school will typically be facing a cut of $2,600 a year. Most families understand that every dollar is crucial when it comes to balancing the family budget. Children are expensive. My boys are 6 and 10, and I know that it does not get less expensive as they get older. In fact, 13-year-olds can be much more expensive than 3-year-olds. I'm really looking forward to that. For example, active children who are involved in sports cost their family a lot of money in sports clothing, equipment and club registrations and insurance. A cut of $4,700 a year for single-parent families or $2,600 a year for 2-parent families might make participating in sporting activities out of reach for many children. And this is at a time when childhood obesity is on the rise, and as I saw recently at a diabetes conference, even diabetes for young children is on the rise. It's not only unfair, but we want our next generation to be fit and healthy members of Australian society. We want them to have had the benefit of a childhood where their parents can afford to give them healthy food, to provide them with proper medical care and education, and to encourage them to be active members of society. So these cuts from the Turnbull government will make that impossible for many families and for many children, so many children will suffer. These are cuts to families who cannot afford more cuts. More than 600,000 families receiving family tax benefit A earn less than $40,000 a year. Once again, the Turnbull government is attacking those who can least afford it. On top of all that, we've had flagged a raising of the GST. If the government carries through this 50% hike of taking it up to 15%, the households will be hit by up to $4,000 extra on top of those cuts to the family tax benefit that I've outlined. They'll be paying more for healthy food for their children, for fruit and veggies, for medical expenses, for clothing, for education, for electricity, even for sporting club fees. Labor understands fairness and we value families and will always stand up for both of these.
Thank you, Member for Moreton.